Cleaning up decades-long oil pollution and restoring environmental health in just one of Nigeria's crude-producing states will cost at least $12 billion. Kenyan athlete and 10-kilometer road race world record holder Ronex Kipruto has been provisionally suspended for an anti-doping violation. The Gift of Chess, a U.S. aid group, has set up a workshop in Ghana producing chess pieces for women's empowerment and youth development. Good morning. You're tuned into Golfe TV Africa. Welcome to this news edition. Here's the news in details. Starting off from the national scene. With the end of year exams just days away, revision is in full swings. Parents are called to support their children, but their role is above all to provide candidates with optimal conditions by ensuring a healthy lifestyle. More details in the reports.
The end of year national examinations coincide with heavy rains in Benin Republic. Runoff water and floodings are among the risks to which examination candidates may be exposed to. Parents are therefore obliged to support their children, but their role above all is to provide them with optimal conditions by ensuring a healthy and comfortable lifestyle. It is in this capacity that the parents are called upon to ensure that their children do not suffer the torment of the rainy season. The parents must help the children to adapt to the weather. They must also consider the age of the children and the nature of the examination the children are preparing for. In addition to providing raincoats, it is important for parents to ensure that their children are physically fit. They should pay careful attention to the well-being of their children.
Les examens approchent. L'année scolaire suit son cours conformément au calendrier scolaire.
The examination is close. The academic year is conforming to the academic calendar. We're following the special calendar that the Ministry of Education brought out recently. Now, we are asking the parent to provide raincoats for their children and to take precautions against malaria.
Bon, il est bien vrai, on sait que c'est au moment des examens de fin d'année que les pluies là, ça survient beaucoup plus.
We know that it is during the period of end of year examinations that the rain becomes frequent. Parents need to take necessary precautions. They need to wake up early and prepare their children and also give them raincoats and umbrellas. Parents should have all this so that the children will not have any excuse not to be in class for the examination. This is what we can say in relation to the rain at this time.
Revision should be carried out according to a well-defined and well-spaced-out schedule so as to allow the children to assimilate better. In addition to all this, there must be the moral and psychological support that goes hand in hand with any organization, and precautions should be taken for the children.
Ces temps-ci, il faut acheter les imperméables aux enfants. Les suivre rigoureusement, parce que ce sont des enfants.
This time, it is necessary to buy raincoats for the children and also monitor them rigorously because they are children. Also ask them what is going on. If the child says he has headache, if there are precautions to take the necessary precautions promptly. Everything needs to go on well for the child. The child needs to sleep very well. This is very important for the child.
Ok, nous sommes vraiment à l'approche des examens de fin d'année.
Close to the end of the academic year examination and seeing that the raining season has started, I am simply asking the parent to take necessary precautions so that the children will not fall sick. The children should be in good conditions. This means they should sleep with mosquito nets. Parent needs to continue monitoring the children. It is not the time to start shouting at the child and not to also teach the child or revise with the child till late at night. There are some teachers who revise with the child till late at night. You need to work with the child in a minimal way so you can be able to strategize better, so you don't wear out the child on the day of the examination.
Non, c'est pas le moment de stresser l'enfant. C'est le moment de lui parler, de lui dire non. C'est comme à l'école, quoi. C'est comme à l'école.
It is not the time to stress the child. It is the time to speak to the child gently. It is just like all the things we do at school. Don't stress the children because they are children and not adults. On the day of the exam, prepare the children on what they will eat, and if the child refuses to eat, the child shouldn't be forced. After the children are done with their exams, it is not the time for the parent to put pressure on the children to know if they did well or not. Other examinations will still come up.
All in all, the national examination at the end of the year 2023 academic year promises good results in view of the school calendar, which is being carried out according to the ministry's directives. However, parents have a significant role to play in the success of their children, as the result of the end of the year depends on how involved a parent is in the academic success and well-being of their wards.
Still on the national scene, the registration of aspirants in the national file seeking to work with higher educational institutes was officially launched on Tuesday. In a meeting on Tuesday, the Minister of Higher Education and Scientific Research and her colleague of digitalization proceeded to the opening of the platform. Orieli Adamsuli Zumaru of the Ministry of Digitalization had this to say.
Cette plateforme ne fait pas exception. Et d'autant plus que elle est un peu à la croisée de chemin, je vais dire.
This platform is exceptional. First of all, an important element was put into consideration, which is education. Like you know, the educational sector is an important sector in Benin Republic. We also inculcated the job sector because we are talking about a platform that would allow people apply for jobs. So we put in the necessary mechanism to make sure this platform is functioning in the highest capacity of what is expected of the platform. I and my colleagues in team, we put in all the necessary efforts in terms of taking into account the requests and the transactions that will be taking place on the platform. Everything on the platform will be such that the platform will deliver quality services. The only thing left for me to do is to wish it longevity, that the platform will fulfill its reason for its creation, and that the platform will continue to meet the need in the higher educational sector.
Eliano Yayi Ladikon, Minister of Higher Education, she also had this to say.
supérieur.
Suis donc instruction de son excellence.
Following the instructions of His Excellency President Patrice Talon, and thanks to the help of various actors, a courageous response was brought to book, putting in place an intelligent mechanism for the selection that will guarantee better results. This new initiative is to officially put to work today, allowing the Republic of Benin give reliable information, especially those with doctoral degrees or those with their masters or a specific training, whether they are Beninois or not. These are for those aspiring to work in the field of higher education. They insisted for all the details so that it will not just meet the need of the university level, but it will equally meet the needs of the private institutions and other sectors in search of people. This sector needs a certain amount of proficiency, and they can get a certain number of profiles that match their needs on this platform. This platform will be updated regularly in such a way that those that have subscribed to the platform and finally have been recruited will be able to leave the platform to give space to others looking for jobs. All these will be done rigorously, and it will be supervised by the delegation in charge of maintaining this platform.
And in Nigeria, cleaning up decades-long oil pollution and restoring environmental health in just one of Nigeria's crude-producing states will cost at least $12 billion. Bayelsa State, home to some 2 million people, is in the grip of a human and environmental catastrophe of devastating proportions. More details in the report. Cleaning up decades-long oil pollution and restoring environmental health in just one of Nigeria's crude-producing states will cost at least $12 billion, investigators said. Bayelsa State, home to some 2 million people, is in the grip of a human and environmental catastrophe of devastating proportions, they warned in the much-awaited report. Lying in the Niger Delta region, Bayelsa is where oil was first discovered in Africa in the 1950s and where companies Shell and Eni have operated for decades. The 4-year investigation was carried out by the Bayelsa State Oil and Environmental Commission, an international panel of experts and prominent figures who worked at the request of the local government. It called on Shell and Eni, whose local subsidiaries still operate in the region, to pay a share of the bill.
For every man, woman and child in Bayelsa, so that's a population of about 3 million, there has been 1.5 barrels of oil spilt in the state. That is what we're also seeing as 10,000 times the scale of the Exxon Valdez spill, which destroyed the Atlantic coastline. So Bayelsa is a silent crisis, but one far in excess of anything that we've witnessed and been scandalized by to date.
In a written statement, Shell said it had not seen the report and could therefore not respond to its conclusion at this time. Eni also said that it had not been consulted about the report and rejected allegations of environmental racism made by the Commission. In response to the request for comment, Eni said it conducts its activities according to the sector's international environmental best practices without any distinction on a country basis. Both companies have blamed most oil spills on sabotage and theft.
I hope that this report will make a difference because a lot of persons out there in the world did not know that this level of atrocities have been going on in the Niger Delta and Bayelsa State. So this report is going to expose.
Eni also said the company undertakes to remedy in all cases when spills occur. The report is based on over 2,500 pieces of evidence, including 500 interviews and analyses of 1,600 blood samples from local people. Over the years, as much as 1.5 barrels of oil has been spilled in Bayelsa for every man, woman, and child living in the state today. The wider Niger Delta, according to the report, has suffered the equivalent of the Exxon Valdez disaster every single year for 50 years. The report pointed to the potentially far-reaching impact on health from oil and gas pollution. Researchers blamed the crisis on the systemic failings of international oil company operators, with the complicity of Nigeria's political classes and the dysfunctional Nigerian regulatory state. The amount paid by companies, the report said, should be based on the amount of oil pumped since commercial exploitation began and perhaps weighed to reflect the company's pollution record. The report comes days after Britain's Supreme Court ruled it was too late for a group of Nigerians to sue Shell over a 2011 offshore oil spill. The energy giant, which recorded its highest ever annual profit this year, faces more legal battles in Britain, including against 50,000 Nigerian claimants suing over other spills.
Gunmen attacked a U.S. convoy in southeastern Nigeria on Tuesday, the 16th of May 2023, killing 4 non-Americans and kidnapping 3 others, official sources stated. No U.S. citizen were in the convoy, said Nigerian police spokesman Ikenga Tochukwu, who was confirmed by the White House National Security Council spokesman John Kirby. The gunmen killed 2 police mobile force officers and 2 U.S. consulate employees before setting their vehicle on fire, Tochukwu stated. The attack took place at 3:30 p.m. on Tuesday in Ogbaru district of Anambra State, the police said. Security forces were deployed to the scene, but the gunmen managed to kidnap 2 police officers and a driver. A rescue and recovery operation was underway on Tuesday evening, he added in a statement. John Kirby confirmed the attack at the press briefing in Washington that a U.S. convoy of several vehicles was attacked. What I can tell you is that no U.S. citizens are involved, the spokesman said. The U.S. State Department, for its part, assured that the U.S. diplomatic staff in Nigeria was at work with the Nigerian security services to conduct investigations. The safety of our personnel is always paramount, and we take extreme precautions when arranging travel in the field, a State Department spokesman said. Several separatist groups are active in the southeastern region of Nigeria and have recently stepped up their attacks, usually targeting police and government buildings. Nigerian authorities attribute the attack to the Indigenous Peoples Movement of Biafra, which they consider a terrorist group along with its armed wing, the Eastern Security Network. IPOB has repeatedly denied any involvement in the violence. Separatism is a sensitive issue in Nigeria, where an attempt by army officers to secede from the Biafra in 1967 sparked a 3-year civil war that left more than 1 million people dead. IPOB leader Nnamdi Kanu is currently in detention and is due to appear in court on charges of treason after being detained abroad and then brought back to his homeland, Nigeria. The violence is one of many security challenges facing President-elect Bola Ahmed Tinubu when he takes over as head of Africa's most populous country later in May. In addition to separatist tensions in southeastern Nigeria,
and youth development. The group is using chess to create jobs and strengthen communities through the game.
Evelyn Upeta earns about $100 per month making chess pieces at a workshop in Ghana's capital using 3D modeling and a printing machine. The workshop, funded by the New York-based aid group The Gift of Chess and operated by local group Clean Afrique 64, hires and trains young women like Upeta.
Chess has really helped me. At first, I don't know how to type. Now I'm learning how to type. And at first, I don't know how to use a 3D printer. Now I know how to use it. And now I can produce a chess piece. And I'm very sure this will help me in the near future.
The popularity of the strategic thinking game as a tool for community development is growing in Africa. The Gift of Chess sponsors tournaments and has donated 1,000 chess sets to underprivileged youth programs in Ghana, Kenya and Uganda, and more than 2,500 to Nigeria. Since starting local production this year in Ghana, the team has sent more than 50 chess sets to schools and youth centers and taught scores of young women how to play.
I think this particular program is going to go a long way to support the girls to think outside the box. And as you know, chess is a thinking game. So as they engage in chess, they're able to widen their scope, their thinking scope. And I think it's going to have a long way, a great impact, on their upbringing and then their social background.
The workshop also teaches young women computer skills and programming for production.
We owe it as part of our corporate social responsibility to develop the communities we find ourselves in. And in every community that we go to, we will be concerned about the well-being of the people we train. Some of the people live in very difficult circumstances. So we just don't teach them how to play chess. We teach them a lot of other life skills to help them build their confidence, prepare them for life.
As the popularity of chess grows, the aid group hopes to get enough support to expand production in coming months.
Kenyan athlete and 10-kilometer road race world record holder Ronex Kipruto has been provisionally suspended for an anti-doping violation. Kipruto, who also won a 10,000-meter bronze medal in the 2019 World Championships, broke the 10-kilometer road race world record in 2020.
Kenyan athlete and 10-kilometer road race world record holder Ronex Kipruto has been provisionally suspended for an anti-doping violation, the Athletics Integrity Unit AIU said on Wednesday. Kipruto, who also won a 10,000-meter bronze medal in the 2019 World Championships, broke the 10-kilometer road race world record in 2020. The AIU said on Twitter that Kipruto had been suspended for the use of a prohibited substance and method, ABP. ABP refers to the athlete's biological passport, which shows discrepancies that can reveal the effects of doping. The AIU added that a notice of the charge has been issued to the 23-year-old runner.
It's really embarrassed and it's really killing the upcoming generation, and we hope the government and AIU and I'm happy for AIU because he has already tightened up the how to manage these robbers, and I think that will be a huge benefit for the young generation not to go through that shortcut.
The ABP, athlete's biological passports, can show discrepancies that can reveal the effect of doping. Kipruto set the 10-kilometer record of 26 minutes 24 seconds in Valencia in 2020. It finished a disappointing 9th in the 10,000 meter at the Olympics in 2021. Close on 70 Kenyan athletes, mainly distance runners, have been banned in the last 5 years for drugs offenses in a crisis that has tarnished the East African track and field powerhouse.
Mo Farah is really inspiration for a young generation like us, and hope to run more years like Mo Farah is race, and I'm looking forward to run with Mo Farah on Sunday. I wish him good luck.
In March, AIU head Brett Clothier warned during a visit to Kenya that the international anti-doping body was stepping up its investigations and testing in the country. The AIU also said in April, Kenyan athletes were being assisted in covering up doping offenses by a medically savvy operation. Its claims followed an investigation into falsified medical documents from marathon runner Betty Wilson Lempus and 800-meter specialist Edley Nalyanya. Lempus was given a 5-year doping ban in January. Nalyanya was suspended this month for 8 years for using a prohibited substance. Kenya reacted by promising on April 20 it would more than triple annual drug testing of athletes. Sports Cabinet Secretary Ababu Namwambe said Kenya was targeting 3,445 tests a year compared to the current 1,000 for its 37,900 athletes and support personnel.
Cyclone Freddy caused many deaths as well as destruction, devastation and displacement across Mozambique. But month on, Mozambicans are rallying their energies and resources to rebuild and recover their communities. Here's more details in the report.
The worsening power crisis is crippling the economy. Small businesses are closing shop, unable to cope, while big businesses are spending their money on alternative energy instead of hiring new staff. The expanded unemployment rate, which includes those discouraged from seeking work, now.
To end this news edition, here's a recap of our top stories. Cleaning up decades-long oil pollution and restoring environmental health in just one of Nigeria's crude-producing states will cost at least $12 billion. Kenyan athlete and 10-kilometer road race world record holder Ronex Kipruto has been provisionally suspended for an anti-doping violation. The Gift of Chess, a U.S. aid group, has set up a workshop in Ghana producing chess pieces for women's empowerment and youth development. Here we'll conclude today's news edition, coming to you live from Golfe TV Africa. I am ITUNU SHONEYE. Enjoy the rest of your day.